From Carl Sandburg College, we do have the athletic director, and that is Daniella Irle. Good morning, Daniella.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
You brought with you your women's golf coach, Miss Gail Hannam. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Coach Hannam.
Well, I'm a Galesburg native, graduated from Galesburg High School, went to U of I, ended up back in Galesburg. I was public school teacher, and just retired back here and coaching some golf.
Well, good for you. I understand you are a beast of a competitor.
I saw Aaron wrote that down. I don't know. I do like to compete, yes.
So you competed at University of Illinois for golf?
I did, yes.
Yeah, take us back. I mean, golf has really, in my opinion, evolved.
Well,
I mean,
it definitely has evolved.
Not the only one, but
Right.
it kind of felt like it's overlooked sometimes.
Yeah, and and to be honest, back in the day when I was at U of I, it was totally different because women's golf was just getting, women's sports were just getting, started. And, we were finally part of the Big Ten and got a lot of good opportunities then. And I think it just took off from that point on, of course. So, it was a great experience. Still have many friends from my U of I team and still play with them maybe once or twice a year.
Fantastic.
So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I remember the day, too. I mean, junior high basketball started out on carpet.
Yeah.
And people, many people would never realize that originally that's how girls basketball got started.
Right.
In Iowa. They had, what, six ladies?
Right. Yep, 3 aside. Yep.
Yeah. Half court.
Yep.
Boy, it's come a long way, Daniella.
No, I'm shaking my head. That's before my time, but man.
Yeah,
it has come a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, even from when I was in school. So.
Yeah, remind us about you, Daniella.
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm coming up on 9 months, I think, at Sandburg, and been in the business, college athletics, let's just say over 20 years and leave it at that. But I grew up in Texas, so, and then transplanted here about 5 years ago. Worked at Knox. I was the athletic director at Knox, retired, and then Sandburg came calling and went back to work for Sandburg.
Yeah, you've kind of done, you were able to get a lot of your accomplishments out of the way early with coaching in the big leagues, so to speak.
Yep.
Remind folks where you've coached at.
Oh, goodness. So right out of college, let's see, LSU was my first stop.
No.
Hey, now, easy. Go Tigers.
No, they're only a half game behind us, so that's why. They're actually, talking about
they're
women's sports.
They're very good. Yes.
Yeah,
LSU,
they're very good.
I still follow LSU. My next stop was University of Texas, and then those were both assistant roles, great programs, and just national powerhouses at the time. From there, went out to Fresno State, and that was my first head coaching gig. And so that was special. 10 years out there. Came back to Tulane University in New Orleans and restarted their program. And then a couple of years later, a little thing called Hurricane Katrina, transferred into administration. Loved it, actually really enjoy administration, so I've stayed in it. And then up to University of North Dakota, FCS program. Was there for 10 years, and then found my good common sense and came back south to get a little warmer. So while people complain about the winters, it's all relative after 10 years in North Dakota.
Oh, I bet.
These winters are fantastic.
But it's not as good as Baton Rouge, though, is it?
No, it isn't. Or New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah, and Coach
sure.
Hannam, I teased Daniella the last time she was here when she said LSU because it's an SEC rival, of course.
Yes.
But now I have to tease her even more because Texas is joining the SEC.
I know. Isn't that, I can remember Texas in the Southwest Conference.
Me too.
And Arkansas, right? And that was a huge conference. That split was crazy.
Yeah.
Like everybody talked about it for years, and now Texas is in the SEC and
I know.
A&M. That's just weird.
I know
It's strange.
And now it just kind of shakes up the Big 12.
Yes.
And what they're going to do with a lot of the Texas schools. But the old Southwest Conference days, it's a day or two ago.
I know, I think we just dated ourselves.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. All right, let's talk Carl Sandburg College. Athletics, the year in review, Daniella.
Yes, we had an amazing year, and I wish I could take credit for any of it, but I can't. We have fantastic coaches. The student athletes, and I a lot of times call them scholar athletes because they are the best students, I think, at Sandburg. They do a great job, but I think we had 23 all Arrowhead Conference, and we're not done yet because we've got a few sports that still haven't been announced. And 18 all-region athletes, pretty good stuff. We had 3 Region 4 championship teams, 3 conference champions, Arrowhead. I mean, the accolades, I'm looking at my cheat sheet because there's just so many of them. We had All-Americans. We had Region 4 champions, Arrowhead champions. I just don't think it's the best of the best, right? And I think, for me, I don't care if it's at the Division I, NCAA level, the D3 level. Champions are champions and winners are winners. And I see the exact same traits in our coaches and these student athletes that are in these championship programs as I did at all the other levels, right? It's a desire, it's a commitment, it's a passion, it's a love, And, they might be a few inches shorter, right? The physical abilities may be different, but the rest of it is the same. So I feel fortunate just to be associated with really just such a high accomplishing department. They're really, and then of course golf, at nationals, it doesn't get any better than that. And our men's golf team will be at nationals next week.
Fantastic.
Clayton Phillips will be representing us at nationals next week. So, and baseball had a really good run this year.
Yeah.
Second in the conference and did some really good things. So all in all, there's not a weak link, which is I think if you're going to look at an athletic department and kind of grade it, I think you have to look top to bottom, not just at basketballs, not just where schools tend to invest. Look across the board, right, at the accomplishments in all of their sports. And that, for me, is what's most important. Looking across the board, are all of these students getting a championship opportunity? May not achieve it, but do they at least have that chance? Are they relevant? And I can tell you right now, every program on our campus is relevant in the conference, they're relevant in the region, and many of them are relevant on the national level.
Well, and you can certainly tell that attitude reflects leadership, so that's a big congratulations to you on your department.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And speaking of accomplishments, women's golf, we have with us the Carl Sandburg College coach, Gail Hannam. Coach, tell us about this season, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Well, we just got home from Garden City, Kansas, which is western Kansas, and it was quite a haul out there, but we won our region in October, so we headed out to nationals last week, and nationals is a different beast. It's an experience that they had probably had no clue what was going to happen, and they handled it really well. We played 5 days in a row, which doesn't happen. We played 4 days of competitive golf in a row, which doesn't happen, under pressure that we didn't understand for a while, And then we pretty much were exhausted mentally and physically by the last day, and it took a toll on them. But, they powered through and did the best they could, and that's all. And, actually their scores were just like they scored back here at home. And to me, that's a testament to how they played. How well they played, because that course, those circumstances, that experience was not what we had back here at home. So the fact that they could pull off the same scores, I felt like they really did a great job.
Good. Well, and you've had such an awkward spring. How windy has it been for those girls?
You don't even know what wind is until you get to western Kansas.
That's what I was thinking.
My goodness, it was every day 40-mile-an-hour gust. And of course, you're in the very open, not a thing to block. There's no trees on this course.
Yeah.
So there was nothing to block the wind. And
snakes.
Yeah, mini snakes.
Y'all saw snakes on the course?
Oh,
no. Videos.
Yeah, no, it was nasty.
Are you kidding me?
No, and the weird, I was telling my friends yesterday, the weird part about this, the first day one of my kids had an anxiety attack because she heard a rattler, so she went flying.
Well, can you blame her?
Nope, can't blame her. But anyway, that was a big talk down off the cliff because she was not happy. She deserved to be. But the way the course was set up, is a lot of natural grasses, and you played out of the natural grass. And so you had no choice but to get in there and play. And if you got into the long stuff, then you never knew what was going to come at you.
Yeah, I'd be wearing rubber boots.
Yeah, it wasn't a good situation. But like I was saying, by Friday, we were okay with it.
Exactly.
We weren't looking for the snakes, even though
You adapted.
We had a coach's chat going, and it was like, big snake in the restroom by 15. There was like snake alerts everywhere. And one day we saw a guy go out with a gun and they were going to shoot the rattlers. We were told at our coaches meeting that they had shot 8 rattlers like in the 3 days before we started playing. But mostly they were big old bull snakes,
Of course.
They were ugly, big old bull snakes. But anyway, we survived. Nobody got hurt.
What a memory.
But, oh, yeah.
I mean, who would believe it?
It was.
But I believe it.
You stand and run. You hit and run. Get out of there. But,
Holy moly. So is it always in Garden City, Kansas?
I shouldn't
It was
say
Daytona last year.
I was going to. Yeah, well, last time we went 4 years ago, it was in Daytona Beach.
Okay,
A little bit different experience.
So that's how you open up next season is, listen, we don't want to go to Garden City, Kansas.
I kind of feel that way, yes. I hate to put it
And
down,
I'm
but
sure Garden City, Kansas is a beautiful, place to go.
yeah,
No?
it was pretty remote.
Okay, never
Not
been there.
Not a whole lot to do.
Wind
there.
and snakes.
Just wind and snakes.
I'm sure there are people who thoroughly enjoy that course.
Oh,
Absolutely.
sure.
Would
Actually,
not be our first pick of courses
Right.
to play on for nationals.
yeah.
Well,
the course
you know-
itself was fine. It was a good test. It was a good,
Just a
it was
tough
playable.
environment.
It was in good shape. The course itself was fine. The snakes, not
Just
so
a
much.
tough
But
environment.
it's better than maybe in Daytona you have an alligator walk up to you.
Yeah. In Daytona, we had snakes, but we weren't allowed to go where the snakes were.
Oh, gotcha.
If our ball went in there, we left it. So there was a little bit different.
What an experience. Thank you for sharing that. And congratulations
Thank
to
you.
you, Coach Hannam.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to thank or point out for a good season?
Oh, I have 6 kids, 6 girls.
6 for total? Okay.
Yeah, and they are great kids. Great kids. I thoroughly enjoy being around them.
Are they local?
Addie Trigo is from Monmouth.
Fantastic.
And the rest of them, there's one from Rock Falls, Sterling, Morton, Armstrong, Macomb.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Great.
not too
Great.
bad.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay, good to know. And a program that we want to keep going and keep
Absolutely.
seeing success.
absolutely.
Okay, Daniella, anything else you want to add on behalf of Carl Sandburg College Athletics?
Well, first, thanks for having us on.
Sure.
It's always fun. I enjoy these. But, just to the people out there, if you're an athlete and you're looking for excellence and you enjoy winning, as I always say, winning is fun. I think Sandburg's legit. And I hope that families, we would love to really own the neighborhood, so to speak. And we've got a lot of Galesburg grads coming into our basketball programs next year. We would like to see Warren County just as well represented in our programs. We've been saying we kind of want to own Warren County a little bit. So I hope that families will continue to consider us for athletics because it's fun and they win and we have really quality coaches. And it doesn't get a lot better than that.
Okay. Ladies, keep up the good work. It was great to catch up with you.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks.
That is Carl Sandburg College Athletic Director Daniella Irle, also women's golf coach Gail Hannam on